side.
Jesse's perfect that he's in the dark because he plays our mutineer uh, person there.
Well, that's a good thing. And we just went live. So
Okay, so
thank you,
fire away.
everyone, for joining us. And this is Big J with another edition of Beyond Trek Podcast, your source for Star Trek news on social media and the web. Today, we're having a talk with Joe Cepeda, actor, writer, director. We're going to talk about the new Nature's Hunger release, Captain Simian's First Command. And I've got to tell you, another fine output that you had there with this film. And the first thing I want to get right off my chest when before we dive into it is when you're writing these films and you film this, how much weed do you guys smoke to come up with these ideas? And can I get a prescription for it? Because I'm watching this and I'm thinking, this is Joe. This is just not, no one else could pull this off and for it to work, because you have already set the stage where this is only something that Planet of the Apes and the Star Trek crossover only you could come up with and pull off, and you did. So let's do some introductions first. Before we go too far into it, why don't we go around the room? You guys introduce yourselves. Joe, let's go ahead and start with you.
All right, I'm Joe Cepeda, the producer, the director, the writer of the amazing Captain Simian's First Command.
Well, thanks, Joe. And Leslie, we'll move on to you.
Hello there. I am Leslie Sawyer, who plays, who all do I play? Nancy Rand, Janet
Everybody.
Pepperstone, or Veronica Pepperstone, I mean. And I can't even keep all the names straight. Who else? What else am I?
And the astronaut.
And the astronaut.
Connie
Yes.
Stewart.
How can I forget Connie? Connie Stewart.
Connie Stewart.
Yes. So there you go.
There we go.
Who's next?
Clay, we'll take you next.
Oh, okay. I'm Clay Sayre, and I am Captain Simian in this particular project.
Indeed. Our wonderful Captain Simian at that.
Ensign, then lieutenant, then commander, and then eventually captain.
And we got
Jesse, how about you?
And I'm Jesse. I'm the helmsman in this particular film, lieutenant commander, and the mutineer who wants to take over the ship because he doesn't believe Captain Simian can do the job and Rand should be doing it instead. So, but maybe I'd have a change of heart. I don't know. We'll see.
So this may be on everyone's mind, but the first question that I'm going to ask is, why? Of all the things we cross into Star Trek, why Planet of the Apes?
I guess I could start it. I think it's a childhood dream of mine to somehow get Planet of the Apes in there. I thought when I first saw Planet of the Apes, this is perfect. This I thought Planet of the Apes is perfect for Star Trek. So they kind of blend together. In fact, there was a Star Trek comic book that they put out with Planet of the Apes and Star Trek, if you recall, a while back. That had a successful run too. So this is a natural. It's a natural.
So it seemed like a good natural fit for you to do Planet of the Apes with Star Trek.
Absolutely. Hand and glove, or should I say paw and glove?
Well, I'm glad that you came up with that idea to do that. And when I was watching this film, I kept thinking to myself, because I've got to have my first experience being on a filming set for Star Trek fan films, for two of them, for Axnar and for Constar, the motion picture. And I know that all of you have been on a lot more than I have, but I know one of the first things I had to take away from that experience is, man, it's hot on these sets.
Yes.
And when you're in uniform, and I can't imagine, Clay, how did you're in a mask, for all of you guys wearing masks, just tell us about that experience.
Well, this goes back a little ways, and this tag teams on Jose's comment. Planet of the Apes was one of those things neck and neck with Star Trek when I was a kid. And to call it an obsession would probably be gentle. Because I was one of those kids that just had all the stuff and knew all the stuff. And it's been one of those things that ebbs and flows in interest. But there's so many things for me personally that sort of collide. I mean, I've had the great benefit of meeting most of the actors that were in the original show, and going to all the filming locations and collecting the props and stuff like that. But that fueled my interest in special effects makeup, which I did for a while as a career. And then part of that is, I like wearing prosthetics. It doesn't bother me in the least. I do it. In fact, this year I just started in my retirement as a Grinch performer for the holidays. So
wow, really?
Yeah. I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't mind wearing all that stuff. It doesn't bother me. In fact, in all the fan films I've done, I've never played myself, and I probably won't. I just don't like it. I find all these other people to be much more interesting than me.
you prefer to be in the prosthetics and the makeup.
Oh yeah.
What was the process of doing that? Was it very timely? Because every just about every actor you talk to or who's done interviews about the process with that can be hours. Some of them spend several hours just sitting in the makeup chair.
Well, it's two things. One, I'm doing it on myself, so it needs to be a little quicker. And because of the time, we streamlined the makeup a little bit. Let me see if I have one here. I'll show you.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he's going to get it, but it's absolutely amazing how fast Clay can do his makeup.
This one is
is that Spartacus?
Or Spartacus, rather.
That's Spartacus,
Spartacus mask. So I'm going to take it off here. So to speed up the process, the hair is already attached. It's on a spandex hood.
Okay. So that's, you didn't have to do the hair separately. It's already part of it.
Wow. Look at that.
You can see. So this one, the teeth have been removed, but it is foam latex. So the inside
okay.
is all flexible, so it's sponge. It's like sponge rubber, a foam latex. So once it's glued into place, then, it moves with your face. And that sped up, because then you put it on, glue it down. You have to spray the mouth, you have to spray the eyes and do some blending. But for the most part, it's within an hour.
So do you do the Batman thing where, Bruce Wayne, he puts the black stuff around his eyes first and then puts the mask on?
Yeah, well, that's all airbrushed after it's glued down.
Right.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
now, Leslie, here's a question I have for you. We'll throw this one to you. So Joe calls you up or sends you a message randomly one day. Hey, how about Planet of the Apes and Star Trek? I'd like to know what your reaction was to that.
Well, this goes back to 2023 when we really did film some of those scenes where I was Connie Stewart. And Jose really liked the idea of, because in Planet of the Apes, unfortunately, she doesn't have much of a part.
Right.
You get to see her alive for a second.
Right.
And she's, of course, this beautiful blonde. And then you see her like a mummy. So
she just dies.
Jose liked the idea of well, what would it have been like if she had survived? And that didn't even happen. And so that's sort of got the wheels turning in his head. And it's with him, it's almost like dominoes falling. Like he'll come up with one certain idea, and then it'll click, another idea, and then that goes to another idea. And so he just ends up going down like the yellow brick road. So no, when he originally told me, I mean, I knew he already had some props, and he's also a very big fan of Planet of the Apes. So I know that he did have some of those props, and he had the how do you say it? What's the name of the ship again? The Equus or
no, the Albatross 6.
on
the show, it's Albatross.
Yeah, the ship that they flew in. And so I thought it was a great idea. It's like the whole idea that you could kind of mesh the two together. Why not? Right? Why not? So no, when he originally told me his idea, I thought, wow, that's really cool. I really like that. So the rest they say is history. So there you go.
Well done. Well done. Well,
yeah.
Well done, Leslie. Pulling off all those parts.
Yeah, you keep me on my toes, Jose. You do.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
How challenging is that to play different parts?
It's somewhat challenging, just because, to be honest with you, I wish I was more talented in terms of voice work. I want all the characters to have like a different sounding voice. And it's just, unfortunately, it's really hard for me to pull that off. I kind of try. I try more with maybe personality as opposed to voice, because Nancy Rand, especially in this movie, is kind of, I don't want to put it too bad, but she's like, wow, she's very competitive. Okay. Like highly competitive. So, my demeanor and the way I'm going to act and everything is obviously going to be different than, say, Veronica Pepperstone, who's the counselor. And yeah, she has a little bit of a British accent, but her whole demeanor is completely different. And the same thing with Connie Stewart. Connie certainly didn't act like Nancy Rand. So even though I can't be as good as I really would like to be with different, like trying to make different voices come out of me, I just I do it like just with trying to act very different with each character. So
right, and you really do a good job of that.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, definitely. So Jesse, how did you get pulled into this?
Hey, I'm still here. Sorry, I'm.
There he goes.
I'm a dad first and foremost. I blocked off this time, but then
your kids, I know.
Ran over.
You came out of the closet.
But
that's good.
Yeah, so actually I got involved through Leslie. I responded to a Facebook post she had about one of the films she was doing, I think for Jose, and just wanted to get involved with fan films. I've been interested in acting for a long time. And I'd done stage and theater stuff prior. I did Rocky Horror Picture Show for a few years, and I did
nice
stuff for my work as well. Just doing like training videos and stuff like that. And I've just always loved Star Trek since I was like 7. So, just the opportunity to live in that world and play in that world was a lot of fun.
And pulling it off, the mutineer, giving it that mystique, that mysterious, part, the anger, the frustrations, let's take over the ship guy.
Yeah, playing a sort of villain was fun. Yeah. I regret I didn't film it we didn't do like a deleted scene where I like tried to take over and was like taken down by a hypo spray or something. That would have I had that idea. We had so much to do though. We didn't have time. I was just like,
but he used his own prop. I appreciate you bringing your props. Jesse brought his own phaser prop for the ape that steals. Get your paws off my damn dirty ape. Phaser. That's his own. I think from what is that movie? A movie from one of the movies, Screen Used, Jesse?
Yeah, that one is Screen Used. It was a USS Vengeance phaser from Star Trek Into Darkness.
There you go.
It was probably
Into Darkness. Okay.
Yeah, it's a J.J. Abrams verse phaser, but it might have been the guy had when he was pointing at Scotty on the ship, or it might have been the one that not Benedict Cumberbatch used. Maybe you see him a little bit in the film, so kind of a cool.
Okay, but we had a screen used one within a fan film. That's fantastic. You have a
my belt buckle was screen used too. I used my belt buckle that was made by Maggie Spock, who did all the metalworks for the Star Trek films. So it might have been used in Wrath of Khan. I don't know, sure, but
that's good. That's good. Yeah, screen used props in a fan film. Yep.
And
That's
there were
pretty
some
cool.
apes. There were some apes uniform pieces that we used too.
Oh yeah. Yes, yeah, from Ape Mania. I need to mention that.
No, I mean some of the stuff I brought was screen used.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
good point.
One of the things that I also wanted to ask you about was the animation part of it, which was very nicely done. So was that AI generated? Did you have an animator?
Well, yeah, but we don't want to give AI too much credit because let me explain. What I did is I had to use different series. It is an AI process that I had to use different programs, if that makes sense. Like I had to have one AI program to make the cartoon character. Okay. Like for example, I will take a snapshot of the actor, okay, in Remy, and then it'll turn it into a cartoon. Okay. But then I have to take that and take it over to Photoshop and then design it according so that it actually looks like a Star Trek figure, because AI totally screws up the what do you call it, the badges and everything, so it doesn't look anything like Star Trek. So I have to go through the Photoshop process. So everything you see in the cartoons has to be photoshopped, corrected. Then once it's corrected, then I take it to I use the Video Express AI to render the cartoon. And if it would, and then it's sometimes it screws it up, so I have to throw it in the trash can, and then I have to teach the AI, no, this is what I want this. So I take what I meet AI halfway, fix it up in Photoshop, throw it back into the AI, it generates the video, and if it's good, then if not, then I go back to Photoshop, fix it up, send it back to do a what do you call it, a cartoon rendering. So I never thought of myself being an AI teacher to say, this is what I want. Now deliver and make me a cartoon, So yeah, so I use like 3 different AI programs to, in unison to make the cartoons and you got the cartoons the way you want them,
That's been one of the difficulties that I've had with AI, and I used AI generator for images and for music that I did for a couple of fan films that I've made so far.
Yeah.
And you have an idea in your head of what you're looking for.
Correct. Yep.
And for example, for the music, if you go and you watch the 2 episodes of Time and Again that I did, I love the music. It's AI, but the thing is that the prompt, you just kind of reword it, you keep wording it, and just like, what you want. I kind of like, no, not that. I want sort of a atmospheric, like we're in an interrogation room,
right?
It's somber, this or that, and you just kind of keep going and you listen to it, and there are parts of it where it's like, holy shit, like that is good.
Yes, sometimes it's good.
Yeah, and then there have been times where I had like the perfect image that I wanted, but for no reason at all, it would put like some AI generated character. Like
exactly.
Like, I did not want that. I did not ask for that at all.
That's correct.
Then you go back to the prompt and say, okay, do that. What you just did, just take this one thing out, and then it just goes this way.
Yep, that's right. That's AI. That's AI. Yes.
So yeah, it's as good as the prompts you can give it, and you do get some gold sometimes. So I can only imagine how difficult it was to get it to do, at least with the tools that we might have.
That's true.
Available to us. That's the other thing is we might be using free tools or something paid for by, happen to get it through your employer, just so happens to have a subscription, so it's not like we're high budget filmmaking here.
Oh no. You don't want to spend a lot of money on AI, and yeah, that's for sure to
Not
deliver
yet,
what you
anyway.
want. Yeah, but it's a challenge. Yeah, you're right. AI is a challenge, and it's pretty wild. I think it's a wild west of AI right now, where you kind of meet it halfway to get it what you want it to do.
Right. Yeah, you do. And especially for the length of the film. I mean,
Oh yeah.
this is a feature length film that you put together. And I can only imagine it had to be hell scripting and writing and shooting and editing.
Yeah, it was. Down to the last minute. Well,
Yeah.
we finished the film on December the 30th, at Old Dark 30, and David McKendry came on at the last minute and helped me with the scoring, and we were able to pull it off. But yeah, it took hundreds and hundreds of man hours of editing, and AI work. And the cartoons themselves that's 30 minutes just of cartoon work alone, in the film. 30 minutes of cartoon work.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work that you put into it. Let me ask you all this, and then Clay, we'll start with you. What is the one part of the film that you would change going back and looking at it now that you wish, I wish I would have done that better, that this would have been pulled off a little better? Instead of your best moments, we're looking for what's the one that you just said, damn it, I didn't quite pull it off. And take from that. He's thinking nothing. I did perfect. It was a great job.
I don't like watching myself on camera, to tell you the truth. So all of it I would probably change.
You would just take you out of the whole thing.
No, I mean there's certain anytime you do a line reading or something and then you listen to it back and you go, what would I have done different? Maybe a sense of humor, maybe more anger here, something like that. I can't think of anything specifically. But there's individual lines here and there that I probably would just redo, where I didn't think maybe the accent was quite on point or something like that. Because I mean, you've seen it. It's not my voice. It's not my regular speaking voice. So,
Jesse, let me put you on the spot. What is your, I wish we could have taken that out, or that would have come out better moment?
Well, no, I was pretty happy with my scenes. I did notice one scene I filmed got cut. I was a little bummed about that. I was going to talk to Jose, see if we could release that as a short maybe or something. Well, one thing I did screw up was we filmed 2 different times, and when we filmed in April for the majority of the bridge scenes and all the primary scenes, I had this beard that I normally have. And I knew when we were filming in November, we were filming some original series scenes, and in the stuff I've done in the past, I didn't have a beard. So I was like, oh, I'll shave my beard and I'll look 15 years younger for the, bridge scenes for the scenes from the past. And then I realized, oh yeah, we're filming a bunch of scenes that are like directly after the scenes we already filmed anyway. So it may end up where I have a beard and don't have a beard, but it wasn't that big of a deal. And it actually, it wasn't I way overthought it, and it was no big deal at all. But that, I guess, you could count that, I suppose, just as something. But no, I mean, it was a lot of fun, and I just like being in Jose's projects, and I hope to be in more. So,
all right, Leslie, how about you? Let's move on to you.
Well, first of all, I really want to commend Clay, and I think he's being far too humble. I really do. Clay, your performance really was, I felt, absolutely outstanding and definitely deserving of some sort of an award. Luckily there are several Star Trek Fan Film Awards things, and you're not only the makeup, the costumes, your mannerisms. There's more to selling a character than just delivering the lines. You also have to have that body language going on, and you know, with the mouth, you know, doing the little wrinkle thing, and you know, all your little subtle things that you did. And I'm telling you, I really was blown away. And I also do know, I heard from Jose that, you know, it took a lot of time for you to do all that voiceover work, where
Yes,
there's all that cartoon stuff and you're doing all that narration.
that was like
And
11
you
hours. That's
took,
right.
yeah, you took a lot of time to do that. And so kudos to you. I think you did an absolutely phenomenal job.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
that's so
Well,
there you
thank
go.
you very much.
we
Thank you.
would definitely not, the movie really would. I couldn't even, you know,
Wow.
I couldn't even imagine anybody else. I'm so happy that Jose got you and that you were willing to do it. I just don't think any other actor would have really been able to pull it off as well as you did. It just was absolutely phenomenal.
What helps to be part of that Roddy McDowell cult, you know.
Yes. Yes. For me personally, you know, we as actors always are our worst critics.
Yeah.
And I'm another one of those actors where I cringe. You know, I don't like seeing myself. I hate how my voice sounds. I'm just like, oh, why did you do that? Why did you say the line that way? You know, that kind of thing. But, you know, it sort of is just what it is. Having been on, you know, real sets for television and movies, the vast majority of it was background, but I had some stuff where I really did say lines. But you know, these actors get multiple chances to say their lines. You know, it's like take after take after take after take. Whereas obviously with us, it's, hey, if we get it, if we hit it right, we're one and done. Okay, we're moving on. We don't
That's
have
right.
that luxury of 10 or 20 takes for every single little thing. So I think when you think of it that way, you know, we're doing pretty good when you consider how fast we have to like just keep moving on with the schedule, the filming schedule, and that we just don't have that kind of luxury. So I don't know. I'm okay with my what I did. I wish I could have done a better job. Of course I do, but you know, I can't really think of anything offhand where I'm like, oh, I wish he would have just edited that out. Why did he put that in? I was so horrible. You know, it was all, I think it was okay. It was okay.
We lost Jesse.
Uh-oh.
Got
Unfortunately.
some technical difficulties there.
Yeah. Sometimes
Whatever.
that happens. All right, so
But-
it's on to you now, Joe. What's your didn't quite pull it off moment?
Well, I'll tell you what. I got together with Clay. You know, we filmed the ape scenes twice because when I got together, you know, we just didn't have enough. I hate to say, we didn't have enough time to make this film. You know, it's like you never have enough time to make the film. So we did like a rush job with the ape scenes, and I said, oh man, you know, if Clay would give me another opportunity, I would love to reshoot these. You know, I could already see the light on his face. How does, you know, I felt I had to do his ape characters justice. So I asked Clay, hey, you know, do you mind refilming it again? And he says, that's what I was thinking, you know, and I'm glad we reshot it because the second time is like gold, you know. I mean, for all the time, the effort, you know, the expertise that he puts into his masks and his makeup, his ape makeup deserves to be shot a second time, you know, with the right lighting and stuff. And he came because we filmed in April, the ape scenes, and we looked at it and we had it in the can. But I said, I really like the trash can, those scenes, and replace them with better ape scenes. So he came back again with Patricia Sweet, and we filmed the same scenes again in October, and I'm glad we did it this time. And I think the makeup even turned out even better. I said, "Oh my God, this is gorgeous! This is gold!" You know. So yeah, we shot
Jerry.
that. I just wish I had more time to work with the film, but you know, based on what we had, I I think we did all right.
It's quite an undertaking, all that.
It is.
For a fan film. I think people are going to be surprised.
Yep. Yep, and taking advantage of talent. When I saw talent, I saw that we had to capitalize. The film was never intended to be this long. The film is 2 hours and 15 minutes. It was never
Right.
intended to be that long. The goal was when we started out making Captain Simian, it was supposed to be a 45-minute film. Okay, we had the cartoon part. Okay, and the astronauts, the background, were only supposed to be cartoon characters. They were never supposed to be live action characters. But then we looked at it and say, darn, you know what? These that the astronauts deserve to be live action characters. So we included astronaut scenes. And we started at filming the astronauts 2 years before we filmed Captain Simian. So we had a lot of footage like the hibernation chambers, all that stuff. That was filmed 2 years ago. We had that in the can, and we had the spaceship footage in the can that Dan Berlin did. He did. Oh God, he spent like hours trying to perfect his ape spaceship stuff. So he said. So we that was all done 2 years ago. So if we use live action characters, we can use all that stuff that we did 2 years ago. Does that make sense? And throw it in the film. And I'm glad we did because we thought that if we gave a background to the whole thing with the astronauts and then showed them as real live flesh and blood characters that the audience would better relate to their situation and the heroic efforts of Captain Simeon, if that makes sense.
It does. It does. Yeah.
Yeah, it added, I think, more depth to the character of Captain Simeon because Captain Simeon, sure, he wanted to join Starfleet and he must save his intruder from the notorious, what do you call it, Romulans. But he's an ape that has a double mission. On the other hand, okay, Captain Simeon is an ape that has to play it forward. Okay, because the astronauts helped him, he feels obligated as an ape to return the kindness and rescue them from their time space vortex, if that makes sense. And he did at the end.
At the end, finally.
Yes, at the end, at the finish line.
Well, you did a fantastic job pulling this off and doing an epic feature length film. Uh, so hats off to you and commend you for that and being able to do that. So and all of you that were part of it did a great job. So I'm curious, how do you follow up to this? What is is there are talks of a sequel?
Who can say? I think right now we're taking a little vacation from
I
filmmaking,
bet.
but who can say what will come up?
Well, I hope you do because I for one always enjoy seeing your films and watching them. It's always something different and a treat to see all of these. Uh, Now, the other thing that I wanted to ask you about was uh, with the writing. Did you write this yourself? Were there who put the story together? Did you script the whole thing out?
I pretty much did, and when I did it based on the strengths of. We have such, with the Super Bowl coming up, we had a Super Bowl talent. I said, "Oh my
Mhm.
gosh!" No, I was studying each of the actors that were on, and I said, "You know what? There is. I want when I did the script, I wanted to capitalize on the strength of the actors, if that makes sense. So a lot of the scenes are scripted on where they would have great success on the film, if that makes sense. Because there's a lot of chemistry and drama that can be brought forth into that story, based on how I saw them perform. Like, let me get one that's not here. Darren Carter, our Klingon. There's a Klingon. He plays the Klingon, all right? But he played other parts because I saw a strong performance. Our Dr. von Hassling, our German scientist director, space program director, where he has a very interesting character. And he pulled it off marvelously. And he plays our doctor too, And I thought, when there's an architecture to the story, okay? You have to understand the architecture to the story is it's almost like going to a Super Bowl, okay? You got two opposite teams, all right? You got the Captain Simeon team, all right?
Right.
You got it with Tira. and Spartacus and Tiberius, all right? They formed the nucleus of his football team, all right? I mean, they are behind him. They will follow Captain Simian into the gates of hell if they need it, all right? And then you got the Captain Rand team, all right? You you got the helmsman, you got the doctor, uh, and well, there's you and you got her. And you got the Vulcan commo officer. So they formed the nucleus of her team. Again, very loyal people that will follow, Rand into the gates of hell, if needed, So you got two opposing teams. So so you have the Rand character and you have the Captain Simeon character, and they, with rational minds, come together to form a nucleus of a team again. Does that make sense to a
Yes.
yin and yang? But somehow they see that commonality of interest, that it's in their best interest to work together as a team, and they pull it off and get it to the end zone.
Absolutely. Yeah, that does make a lot of sense to do it that way. And I couldn't think of any other way to do that. And you're writing to the strengths of the actors that you have. Now here's something that I've always liked and found interesting. It's with uh, moments or lines or script that was not planned, maybe wasn't scripted, but just happened to come out and shine.
Oh yeah.
What's the synonym for ad-libbing? I can't.
Yes, ad-libbing, correct.
Scripted. So let's start with you, Leslie. As an actress, do you favor? I'm sticking with what's on the script line for line, or do you also like trying? Hey, let me just go off script with this to see how it works.
No, I feel I'm the type of actor where I feel very comfortable wanting to really pretty much just stick to the script and just say what I was told I need to say. However, there is one scene in the movie. Darren Carter loves to improv, and I don't blame him.
Does.
So he's very good at it.
He
I don't
is.
feel like I am. Like I feel like my mind just goes blank. I don't know what to say. But amazingly enough, he kind of inspired me. There's just this one scene where he said, "You know what? I want this scene to feel like more natural."
Yes.
Because he's talking to me, and he's talking to Nancy Rand, and they're getting into it with stuff, and so he was like, "Leslie, let's just improv this scene." And I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God. I was so nervous. I'm like, but I don't know how to improv.
That's right.
But I'm like, okay, if that's, why not? We'll try. And it actually worked. I thought it turned out really pretty good. We said, I think, basically what Jose had in the script.
Yep.
Because I kind of could remember some of the dialogue and what I was really supposed to say. So more or less, we both said what was supposed to be said, but just off script, if you know what I mean.
Hopefully you get this reference. You're more of the Ron Burgundy. You will read what's on the teleprompter. Doesn't matter what's on it. You're reading it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I do. There are certain words, like sometimes when I do a fan film, certain sentences, the way it was written, I might feel like, I kind of feel like maybe it would sound better if it was said this way instead. And so usually I'll say something to the director, can I say it this way instead? And then it just to get their approval. And then sometimes I have to admit, like when I'm in the middle of my dialogue, I really will accidentally say the sentence wrong. But luckily the director, it's like, that was good. I mean, whatever it was I said wrong, it still was fine. It wasn't a problem. So, but I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm not trying to really rewrite a script,
Jesse, how about you? Are you kind of I have a hard enough time saying what I'm supposed to say anyway. Yeah, I'm not going to make up stuff on the fly.
Well, so I've actually been in a local improv group where I live. Okay. Pretty good at improv.
That's good.
But most of the time I'll just, I'll obviously stick to the script. I noticed I will, depending on how it's written, to help with my delivery as an actor. Sometimes I'll change it slightly just to what feels more natural to me and see if that's good with the director. And I've done that in a couple different projects, just because sometimes as it's written, it doesn't maybe fit like what how I normally speak, and maybe if I try to change it just slightly, it'll sound more believable and real. So I do that a little bit, but I mean, I haven't done too much improv within scripted scenes, but I do like improv. It is fun. So what I've done in the past is sort of like a great value. Whose line is it anyway? That was the group I was in. We would do that kind of stuff. So
now, Clay, you got to tell me that you don't need no stinking script, and you're just going off the hip, right?
Oh, I do everything off the hip. I don't require a script at all.
Just
No,
direct us to action, and I'm going.
I think that for most of the regular shooting, I stuck to the script. When we did all the redubbing and everything, and this was more for Jose, I would do a lot of the lines 3 or 4 times, and each one was a different reading, emphasize a different word here or there or something like that, and then he could take his pick which one he wanted. So I like that. The improv part, I like improv, and that's one of the reasons I do the Grinch thing, is because those are like 3-hour blocks, and it's 3 hours of improv. Basically, you put it on and you have to go, because you don't ease into it. If you're trying to be Jim Carrey, you start at 10. The moment you get out of the car, you have to be at 10, and you have to be at 10 for 3 hours straight. And so I like that. And when you're wearing the costume and you're wearing the makeup, it makes it easy. There's always that one of the old actor stories is that the costume creates the character. And there's a lot to be said for that. You can't help but put that stuff on and walk. I mean, I can't wear that outfit and not kind of bend over and not do that little walk and wear the stuff and not wrinkle my nose and do the kind of stuff that Roddy did.
Wonderful.
I mean, so that makes it easy for me. And I think that's why I like playing aliens and stuff like that, more so than regular people. They're boring to me.
You've got more to work with aliens.
Well, if I had to be a regular character, I'd be looking at Jose going, can you kill me off like right at the beginning? And I'll come back at the end maybe, but I don't want to be in it as myself.
How about you, Joe? Are you diligent with the script, or do you just kind of like playing it loose when you're filming?
Well, on open for actor interpretation and opportunities to embellish the script, because sometimes the actors will come up with some fantastic ideas and say, why not? That's what you were looking for. That was like the opening of the football game, the whole to bring out this goodness, that needs to come out, like they'll think of it on the set, like, is it okay if my character does it like this way? I said, let's try it. Let's see what happens, Yeah. And I think you can get a lot of goodness from that too, in many cases, it's fun.
Right. Yeah, you can get some really good moments if your actors know that they can kind of do that, just sort of go with the feel of it. You can get some really good magical moments there. Well, thank you guys so much for sitting down with me tonight and to talk about this new film. I think you all did an amazing job.
Well, thank you.
So for all of you out there watching, listening, Nature's Hunger, the new release, Captain Simian's First Command. So encourage you to watch it. It's definitely a good watch. I'm sorry, Joe, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say, thanks for being in it. You're in it. You're in you did a cameo.
Yeah, and it's if I'm to answer the question, what would I have done differently? I was too stiff. I don't know why I was so stiff that day, but it just I saw that, I said, loosen up a little bit. But it was a small thing, and I'm very honored that you asked me to do a scene for that. I really appreciate it. I liked having the chance to be able to be in one of your productions. So thank you very much for that
No,
opportunity.
it's our pleasure. In fact, we had 700 other filmmakers that did cameos, even from the British across the pond. You know,
Yes.
Powerhouse 543. Yeah,
Yeah.
Samuel Cockins. Yeah, for one. Yeah,
Yeah.
came on
Yes, it
board. So
was.
that's good.
It's great. That's the thing I always like seeing out of these films. I do like seeing some crossover and some familiar faces, and that's great that you tap into the community and other filmmakers just to help enhance your craft and what you're doing.
Yeah, and them being nice enough to let us use their existing Star Trek sets, like Frank Parker, you know, his sets,
Yeah.
his cast, his crew member. I mean, he let us use his cameraman, you know, and his and the Romulans and stuff, you know. So
And his
yeah,
wife.
it's people like that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, and Steve Harris too helped out with the he got a crew on board for the CGI, you know. So I would say there would be, oh yeah, and one other one. I have to thank the USS Athenia of of Starfleet Command from Nashville, Tennessee, for letting us use their members for the Vulcans and the Klingons and the Andorians and the Starfleet people. Well, we needed a whole bunch. So we went up to Nashville, Tennessee, and got their membership together, and they brought their own costumes and makeup, and then we got our ballroom scene in there. So yeah, it was a community film, you know, all these people throwing in, you know, their help.
that's great. That's fabulous that came together like that. Well, thank everyone for joining me tonight, and thanks to all of you that watched our live stream to talk about Captain Simian's First Command. And as always, live long and prosper.
Peace and long life.
Yes.
I don't want long life. I'm done with all this.
Oh, no, hey,